What's up everybody, it's me Eric B and welcome back to the channel. And today I have something awesome for you guys. I'm going to be doing a first ride on this 2020 BMW S1000RR. And how does it compare to some of the other leader bikes that I've been on? Stay tuned. Alright, so shout out to my buddy Scott for being kind enough to let me do a first ride on his S1000RR. And I've only really seen these things, you know, in pictures and stuff like that. I've seen maybe one riding around before, but this thing looks awesome. I mean, I really like what BMW has done to the front end and everything. Now it's got that symmetrical look in the front with the headlights and everything. I wasn't too much of a fan of the old one, but apparently they like revamped the entire bike. So as far as the looks goes, man, this thing gets an A+. Like, it really does look good, guys. And I like the paint. It's more like it's not really white, it's kind of like a light, really light gray color. It's kind of weird. I haven't seen it around too often, but he did say that it has everything that the M package has. It just doesn't have the carbon wheels. And as you can see, it's sporting a Krapovic or Akrapovic, or I don't really know how you pronounce that word, but it's sporting a full system on here, guys, and it looks really good. You still got to get a tune and everything for it, but other than that, man, this bike is sweet. So let's go on ahead and get it on the road, see how it does. And before we do that, as always, guys, let's cut to the B-roll. Alright, go time. Alright. I love this display. Startup screen is awesome. Alright, I don't think you have to hold the clutch, so. Nice. Gosh. The exhaust sounds amazing. Alright, so it's already been warmed up and everything. Give it a couple revs. Oh my goodness. Alright, this is my first time on an S1000RR. Not too bad, not too bad so far. We haven't really gotten into it yet, but this bike is really nice, and oh man, you can really throw this thing around pretty good too. Now, it's not super lightweight. In terms of weight, it weighs about the same as my Gixxer 1000, about 450 pounds wet. Now this bike is supposed to be a lot lighter than the previous models. I think somewhere by 25 pounds or something like that. So far, guys, this thing feels pretty comfortable. From an ergonomic standpoint, I mean, it feels pretty standard to, you know, most of your other sport bikes and everything. It's not overly aggressive. I mean, it has a little bit of aggressive seating position to it, but overall it feels pretty good. Now I think this thing could use a little bit better windscreen just because it's really short, and then for us taller guys, I think it'd be a little bit more difficult to try to get tucked behind the windscreen and everything on here. So if you plan on getting one of these, that might be something to upgrade. Yeah, but the overall feel of this bike and everything so far feels really good. It feels really smooth on the road, nothing real rough about it. And then let's see, so it has a quick shifter on it, and it does have an auto blip, so the auto blip is actually pretty smooth. Some of them you get on, they feel kind of clunky, a little notchy, but this one's pretty good. All right, so like I said before, this one has everything that the M package would have except for the carbon wheels, and you can see here it has the electronic suspension and everything. This thing is nice, man. I really like it. Now, I'm not gonna dive too far into the menu options or anything like that. It's already set up into race mode for me. He was showing me some stuff on the dial and everything earlier, but I'm like, man, I'm not even gonna play with all that stuff right now. I really need to be sitting at home in the garage to really learn all the different settings and everything. And this display and everything, man, it looks really good compared to some of the other TFTs like the Ducati and the R1 and the Aprilia and stuff like that. Those look good, but this one looks really nice too. So as far as the brakes goes, I guess BMW uses their own brakes on the front, but I did see Brembo out in the back. I don't see a Brembo master cylinder or anything like that on here. The brakes do feel really good. I think there are still braided brake lines on here, so just the initial bite and everything from the front brake is not too bad. Alright guys, so this thing does have everything you can think of: ABS, traction control, wheelie control, launch control, any control you can think of, it has it. So you can definitely dive into the menu system and customize that to your liking. But yeah, this thing comes fully loaded with everything. Has heated grips. I believe this has cruise control, because I think the last one had it. And it even has navigation, so you can Bluetooth it to your phone, and then have it talk to you on your comm system, and have it show up on the screen here as well. All right, I know what you guys have been waiting for. Eric, get on it. Let's see what it does. Alright, so he did tell me that there was a dead spot in the RPM range, so I did notice it once I got on the throttle around 6,000 RPM. And then once it hit about 8,000 RPM, I think, that's when this thing comes alive. And this thing freaking feels good. It's got some power, so I think once he gets it tuned with this exhaust and everything, it's going to be nice. Oh man, if you got a fast bike and it doesn't put a smile on your face, man, you got the wrong bike. Alright guys, so far not too bad at all. This thing is nice. It's unfortunate with that dead spot in the RPM that you gotta wait for the power to come on, but I think, like I said, once he gets that tune in this, that'll tune that right out, and this thing will be good to go, man. It'll be a screamer. As far as the power goes and everything, so this is obviously a 999cc liter bike. It's supposed to be 201 horsepower stock and about 83 foot-pounds of torque. And like I said before, BMW completely revamped this bike for 2020, so everything on it is different. The entire looks of the bike, the engine, like everything. Like they made everything lighter, down to, like, you know, the screws and bolts and everything. And I think they shed about 25 pounds, and most of it's supposed to be in the engine. And really the only complaint is the dead spot in the RPM. The US bikes had to be tuned a specific way in order to meet all the emissions specifications and stuff like that. But like I said, once you put an exhaust on it, once you get it tuned and everything, that'll fix that problem. Oh, also when you buy these brand new from the dealer, I think it's locked, so you can't go over a certain RPM until you get your first service done or something like that. I think that's good in a way, you know. The guys aren't going out there blowing up their bikes, you know, as soon as they get them and everything. But then it just sucks that you can't have the fun you want to have right out of the box. Tell you what, this exhaust sounds amazing. Very nice bike overall, very premium feel to it. Looks amazing. Performs well, just, you know, in the little bit that I've done so far. Definitely a bike to have on your list if you're looking to get in a new liter bike. Alright guys, so real quick, like I said before, I'm not going to dive too far into the menu system, because a lot of these bikes have a lot of different options and menus that you can mess with that could take, you know, a whole video to try to explain. So just real quick, you can see here, if I hit the menu button, then it goes into different things. So just like the BMW cars, you know, you got your settings, you move this little wheel here, your phone, media, it even has a navigation system on it, like I said before, and then you can change your different modes and stuff like that. So the little mode button right here allows you to change it from race, terrain, road, dynamic, and we're just going to keep it in the race mode. So the controls are pretty intuitive. You just need to sit there and play with it for a minute to actually get used to it, and other than that, it should be fine. Now, how does this compare to my Gixxer and some of the other leader bikes that I've been on? So I will say this is a smoother, more refined bike, I guess, than my Gixxer. The quick shifter feels a little bit better, because on mine it's a little clunky. I don't know if it's because mine's aftermarket. I haven't been on one with the factory quick shifter on the newer Gixxers. Now, this compared to the Panigale V4, the Panigale hands down is a freaking monster. That thing is fast. It's got a lot of torque. I think this feels really good when it comes alive, you know, above 8,000 RPM. Yeah, you better be ready to hold on. This thing's a beast. I think my Gixxer will run pretty good against this. Now, once it's tuned, I don't know about that. I think this thing might be able to lay the smack down on it. But to be honest, man, I think it's all apples and oranges. Once again, you know, with most of these bikes, it's all in your taste, your preference, and they all perform differently. You know, they have their purpose. I mean, all of the leader bikes that I've done a test ride on, they all are good bikes. They all perform well. There's just different nuances here and there. You know, one may have more torque than the other one. One may handle just a little bit better than the other one. One may be lighter than the other one. Yeah, I know it can be really hard when you're deciding to get a bike, just because they are all so close in everything, you know, in all the categories when it comes to power, handling, looks. It's really hard to decide. And like I said, it just comes down to pretty much your taste on what you want. You know, I think the European bikes are in a class of their own. You got the big four, you know, the Japanese bikes, they're durable, reliable, stuff like that. And then with the European bikes, they're a little bit more finicky, you know, when it comes to maintenance and things like that. But what is BMW's motto? The ultimate driving machine. And that's what this thing is. It is a pretty badass machine. Every time, never fails. You want to hit a curve and got some car ahead of you. I don't know, man. This thing might be faster than my Gixxer. It's like I gotta ride this and immediately hop back on my bike. Just sucks, man. There's that freaking dead spot because it feels like there's no torque on the bottom end until you get higher in the RPM. But my Gixxer, I got that torque like right away. Man, this thing is a monster. If you guys got any comments or questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.